time for WLNT News. I'm Zoe.
And I'm Lily. Thanks for joining us. We have an exciting program coming up.
An interview from Tori.
Jake on sports.
Amara talking about weather.
Brandon on national news.
Miley talking about public interest.
Colin entertainment.
Lily talking about local news.
Finally, Zoe ending it with health and wellness. Here's Tori interviewing Mrs. McLennan.
Thanks, Lily. Hi, I'm Tori Grasso. I'm here today with Mrs. McLennan. What's your job?
I'm a teaching assistant, so I go to classes and help out where I'm needed.
What's your favorite part of teaching?
You kids, you always make me laugh.
Why did you decide to be a teacher?
After I had my own children, I realized how much I liked being with kids.
How long have you been a teacher?
I've been at Matthew Thornton for 17 years.
What grade levels do you work with?
This year I'm in 5th, but I've been 1st, 2nd, and 4th.
What age did you decide you wanted to be a teacher?
After I had my own children.
Have you ever worked at any other schools besides Matthew Thornton?
Yes, I worked at South School for a couple of years.
Do you have any other jobs besides teaching?
No.
What do you like most about doing outside of school?
I like yoga, I like skiing, and I like gardening.
If you weren't a teacher, what job would you want to have?
I would be a yoga teacher.
Thanks, Mrs. McLennan. Back to you guys in the studio.
I didn't know so much about Mrs. McLennan.
All I knew about her was that she was a teacher.
So here's Jake with upcoming sports.
Thanks, Zoe. Are you bored with everyday sports like soccer and baseball? More and more people are becoming interested in participating in watching MMA, volcano boarding, and sky surfing. First, let's talk about MMA. It's short for mixed martial arts. MMA is all about being quick, swift, and having a very strong impact. I think MMA is up and coming because a lot of people are getting interested in it and maybe even trying it out. There's one thing you have to remember about MMA. It can be dangerous, broken bones and a little blood here and there. Also, there's this thing called volcano boarding. It's kind of like sledding down cold ash, but on the side of a volcano that may have erupted a long time ago, but the ash is still there. I, for one, think it's pretty awesome, but I need your opinion. So what do you think about volcano boarding? If you like it, you could research it and maybe get some more facts and pictures. Next is sky surfing. Sky surfing is basically just skydiving with a surfboard attached to your feet. It could be scary, but some people like it. You jump out of a plane and skydive, but on a surfboard kind of thing. You never know where you're going to land, but it still sounds cool. Like it would be awesome if you could just land in the ocean and then just surf to shore. So what do you think about sky surfing? I hope you like it. Extreme sports like these are not for everyone, so do your research before attempting any of these activities. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that was very cool.
Yeah, I'm into sports, so I like that too.
Now here is Mara talking about tornadoes.
Thanks, Lily. Tornadoes are rotating columns of air that are very dangerous. Most tornadoes have wind speeds under 110 miles per hour, but some can be 250 feet across and can travel up to 300 miles per hour. Tornadoes are also called twisters, cyclones, and whirlwinds. Most tornadoes in the United States happen from late June to August. Tornadoes can happen when a cold front and a warm front collide. Did you know that some tornadoes can be invisible? This can happen when heavy rain, hailstorms, or darkness makes it unapparent. The biggest tornado was the tri-state tornado that covered Missouri, Indiana, and Illinois. This happened on March 18, 1925. There are two different scales to measure tornadoes. The first one is called the Fujita scale, the other the enhanced Fujita scale. If you think you are in an area of tornado approaching, make sure you seek shelter. Back to you in the studio.
Invisible tornadoes? Wow.
Luckily, we don't live near tornadoes.
I know, right? Now Brandon with national news.
Thanks, Zoe. President Barack Obama has left the office after 8 years, and President Donald Trump has become our 45th president. Life will become a little different for President Obama. He will be moving into a $7 million house that is 8,000 square feet in Washington, D.C. The house includes 9 bedrooms and a giant patio. It also has a garage for 10 cars to park in. He signed a bill allowing him to have Secret Service for life. His daughters will have Secret Service protection until they are 16. Obama will be receiving a little over $200,000 as a former president. After leaving office, President Obama took a family vacation to Palm Springs. After that, he and Mrs. Obama went to the Caribbean. Now after the new house, back to you guys in the studio.
The Obama family's so nice.
I know, right? And that the Obamas get over $200,000 a year for being a former president?
Here's Miley talking about Apple Watches.
Thanks, Lily. The Apple Watch's watch does many more things than a regular watch does. Some of the things it can do are iMessage, call, iTunes, timer, GPS, photos, calendar, step tracker, weather reminders, camera settings, and Apple Pay. The price for an Apple Watch is around $300 to $700, depending on where you get it. The Apple Watch has a variety of colors, faces, and types of wristbands.
Some of the colors of the wristbands can be white, red, blue, black, green, pink, and more. They also have patterned and multicolored wristbands. The most common color of the wristband is black. They have many different versions of the Apple Watch that also impacts the price. The Apple Watch Series 1 is partly waterproof. It can go without breaking if you wash your hands or go out in the rain, but it won't be able to go swimming with you without breaking. The first Apple Watch was released in April 2015, but it was rumored that it was being made in September 2014. That there is a tradition Apple does with their Apple Watches to set it to the display time to 10:10 because it represents the watchmaker's logo. There are some people that don't like to do that, so they set it to 10:09. So if you combine style and functionality, the Apple Watch might be right for you. Apple Watches are sold at Apple Store locations as well as Amazon, eBay, and other online shopping websites like that. Back to the studio.
Wow, I didn't know there were so many wristband color choices.
Now I want an Apple Watch.
Me too. Here's Carol's with Apple's new phones.
Thanks, Zoe. Are you someone who must have the latest technology? Apple has finally released their new iPhone. It is called the iPhone 7. Are you sick and tired of your old screen? The iPhone 7 now has a 4.7-inch screen with 12 megapixels, which gives you a nice sharp image. Are your photos looking a little shabby? Now with Apple's new iPhone, they've produced a better camera that will bring life to those photos. Are you always looking for a place to recharge? The iPhone 7 has 2 hours more of battery life. One thing that has disappointed a lot of people is the removal of the headphone jack. They did this to make the phone thinner, but don't worry, you can still hear your favorite tunes using Bluetooth headsets. Style is very important, and they released a new color called Jet Black. It gives your phone a glossy black look. Rounding out the new features are water and dust resistance and stereo speakers. The iPhone 7 was released on September 16, 2016. It's available in 5 colors: black, silver, gold, pink, and jet black. It's sure to be on everyone's wish list in 2017. Back to you in the studio.
Apple phones are always good products.
Yeah, like the new camera. I would really like that. Here's Lily talking about the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Thank you, Zoe. The Make-A-Wish Foundation makes wishes to children with life-threatening medical conditions. It was founded in 1980 and is located in Phoenix, Arizona. Popular wishes include destination wishes like European vacation, trips to Disney and Hawaii. Wishes can be to attend events like concerts, sporting events, and plays. Wishes can also include celebrity guests. Did you know the most requested celebrity is John Cena, whom has granted over 500 wishes? Our school, Matthew Thornton Elementary School in Londonderry, New Hampshire, held a fundraiser recently and raised $1,095.50 for this wonderful charity. They did a raffle and students had to guess what was inside a mystery present. Winners got to keep what was in the present. The student council president initiated the fundraiser over the last 2 years because of his experiences with his sister Caitlin. So if you're looking to get involved with a wonderful cause, check out the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that was really cool. I didn't know that.
Everyone's wish to be to see John Cena.
I know I would.
Now Zoe with junk food.
Thank you, Lily. Are you trying to live a healthier lifestyle? Fast food restaurants continue to offer unhealthy options to customers. Some McDonald's, KFC, and Wendy's come with large calorie counts. McDonald's Bacon Sirloin 3rd Pound Burger has 810 calories, and Wendy's Dave's Triple has 1,070 calories. KFC's Double Down Sandwich only has 540 calories, but it also contains 32 grams of fat and 1,800 milligrams of sodium. If you're looking for a healthier choice, be sure to check out the natural guides offered at each of these restaurants. Hopefully you make better influenced choices that will put you on your way to healthier living. Thank you, and back to the studio.
I'm never eating junk food again.
I'm really grossed out, but it's still cool. I hope you learned something from our program. I know we did.
Bye.
Welcome to WNMT News. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Ketsia.
Today we have stories on public interest, sports, and interview, health, and fitness. And that's all.
No, we also have weather, entertainment, national news, and public news.
That's Miles with a new Pokemon game, Sun and Moon.
Thanks, Lindsay. The new game to the Pokemon game franchise is Sun and Moon. The game takes place on a series of islands. Pokemon Sun and Moon represents the biggest changes we've seen for the series in a long, long time. The developers have created multiple island challenges for each island that are all related to a specific type of situation like fire, grass, water, and ghost.
A new type of move has also been added. They are called Z-moves. There is a Z-move for every of the 18 types of Pokemon. The 3 starters are the Fire-type Litten, the Grass-type Rowlet, and the Water-type Pavio. They've also added a new gang of Pokemon thieves called Team Skull. The leader of Team Skull is named Guzma. Each game has its own exclusive legendary Pokemon. Sun's legendary Pokemon is called Solgaleo, and Moon's legendary Pokemon is called Lunala. This is a game that Pokemon enthusiasts are excited about. Back to you in the studio.
There's a gang in Pokemon?
I wish there were sports in Pokemon.
Speaking of sports, here's Cam with a report on Tom Brady.
Thanks, Ketsia. Tom Brady was born on August 3, 1977. He grew up in San Mateo, California. Brady excelled at both football and baseball. He attended Junipero Serra High School. Tom Brady went to Michigan University for 4 years. His first 2 years, he backed up quarterback Brian Grease. Brady became the starting quarterback after his second 2 years, after Brian Grease. After college, Brady went to the 2000 NFL Combine. Not a lot of people thought Brady would exceed. At the 2000 NFL Draft, Tom Brady was passed up by 6 other quarterbacks, including Chad Pennington, Giovanni Carmazzi, Chris Redman, T. Martin, Mark Bulger, and Spurgeon Wynn. He waited and waited in the draft until one team drafted him, and that was the New England Patriots. Brady was picked in the 6th round, pick number 199. In training camp, he was a backup to Drew Bledsoe until one game when the Patriots were playing the New York Jets and everything was going well until Jets linebacker Mo Lewis hit Bledsoe, causing him to suffer a near-fatal injury. After the injury to Bledsoe, Brady came in and played spectacularly. He led them to win Super Bowls 36, 38, 39, and 49, also setting 58 records, winning 11 division titles, getting invited to the Pro Bowl 12 times, winning NFL MVP 2 times, and appearing at a total of 6 Super Bowls. Tom Brady is still playing the NFL today at age 39 and made his 7th Super Bowl appearance at Super Bowl 51. He led the Patriots to win their 5th Super Bowl title. Now he has 5 Super Bowl rings. Back to you in the studio.
It took Tom Brady 6 rounds to get picked.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know what else is crazy? My dad being town manager.
What?
Now, to our special guest with Ethan.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hi, I'm Ethan White, and this is Mr. Smith. Today I will be asking Mr. Smith some questions. What is your job, and how long have you had it?
Oh, well, Ethan, first, thank you for having me in to do an interview with you.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. So I'm the town manager here in Londonderry. I've been the town manager for about 3.5 years. Though I grew up in Londonderry, my parents moved here in 1986, so I was pretty familiar with the town before I became town manager. And the job of town manager, it's a big responsibility. It's to manage all of the operations, the daily operations of all of the different departments. So that includes the police department, the fire department, public works, the assessing department, the finance department, anything that has to do with town government, I have to help manage on a daily basis.
What is your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part of the job is when I'm able to help people out that have a problem in town. So if a resident comes into town hall and perhaps they need a pothole filled on their street, or if there's a street light out and they need someone to call the electric company to get it fixed. People come into the town hall all the time with different kinds of problems that they're looking for help with. And it's probably my favorite part of the job is to be able to help them out, because that's what we're there for. We're there to be public servants, to help the public out and make their government work for them. So it's probably my favorite part of the job.
What is the most challenging part of the job?
The most challenging part, there's a lot going on all the time. And so the most challenging part is probably juggling all of the different things that need your attention. Because as I mentioned, there's a lot of departments to manage in town government. And Londonderry is a pretty big town. You know, we're about 25,000 people, and we have about 175 employees. So there's a lot to manage, and there's always something going on. It's not a boring job by any means, but because there's always a lot going on, sometimes it's a challenge to manage it all at the same time and be effective doing that all at the same time.
Is the town common free to use?
Yes, it is. If anyone in town can use the town common. In fact, anyone outside of town can use the town common as well. The only thing that we do request is if you're looking to use the town common, that you let us know in advance. You can call my assistant. Her name's Kirby. and she'll let you know if the town common is open on the date you want to use it. And if it is, then you can sign up to use the town common free of charge. It's open to everybody.
Would you recommend a job in the town sector?
I would. If you like helping people and you look at it as a job of public service and in assisting different people, I would recommend a job in town government. We have great employees that work in the town. They're very nice. They're always willing to help and assist people. And if you like to work in an atmosphere, an environment where everybody has a good attitude and wants to help people out, then I would definitely recommend working on the town side.
Do you usually travel for this job?
Not a whole lot, Ethan. I travel around town a lot, whether I'm going up to the senior center or one of the fire departments or across the street to the cable studio. But outside of that, I don't have to do a lot of traveling. Every now and then, I will have to go to Concord. If there's a piece of legislation that is going to affect the town, I might go up and speak on it. In fact, the day before we're doing this interview, I had to go up and meet with the governor on a particular matter. So I don't have to travel a whole lot, but when I do, it's usually not too far.
Can you ever work from home?
Very rarely. Most of the time, this job requires me to be at the office or somewhere in town where I'm easily accessible. Though I will tell you, in the very few times where I have worked from home, I get a lot done. And the reason I get a lot done is because I'm not constantly answering phone calls, or people aren't, dropping in to see me all the time. So the good side, the upside of being able to work from home is that I can be very, very productive. The downside is, though, is that I'm not as easily accessible. So I pretty much try to be in the office all the time.
Did you plan on doing this job when you were a little kid?
No, I didn't. But I will tell you, Ethan, that I've always had an interest in government. And so I knew I probably would have a job in government someday. In fact, when I was a little kid, I was very interested in town meetings, and I really liked the job that the moderator had at the town meetings. So while I didn't ever envision myself being a town manager, I did always see myself going into the public sector and working to help people. And so I'm not surprised that I'm in a role like this right now, because it's something that's always been my passion and something that I enjoy doing.
Would you like to change anything about your job? If so, what would you like to change?
What would I like to change? Well, if I could change anything, I'd like to add more hours in the day. That'd be really helpful. If I had just a few more hours to get a few more things done, that would help. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Does your job require a college education?
It does, though the kind of education can vary. A lot of town managers will get a degree in public administration. My degree is actually in communications, which is also a very helpful degree to have in a job like this, because you're always communicating with the public, with the media, with other stakeholders in town and outside of town. So it does require a college education, but the kind of education can vary depending on what your strengths and skill sets are.
If you didn't have this job, what job would you have?
Well, it's a great question, Ethan. As I mentioned, I went to school for a communication degree because I thought I was going to want to go into sports broadcasting. And ultimately, I decided not to do that. But if I didn't have this job, who knows? Maybe I would like to be a sports broadcaster. I do announce the football games for the Lancers when they're playing football in the fall. And I love doing that. So maybe in some other life I'll be a sports announcer on ESPN or something.
Did you have to take any tests for this job?
I didn't have to take any tests, but I did have to go through a very rigorous interview process with the town council. I was brought in for multiple interviews, a big background check. So there weren't any tests per se, but I did have to interview with them quite a bit and talk about what my vision was for the town, why I thought I was a good fit for the position. So, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for your time. Back to you in the studio.
He's the town manager? Wow, I never knew.
Yep, I know, because he's my dad.
Really? That's cool. He must be a busy man.
Like hospitals.
Hospitals? Oh, hospitals. Now tie with hospital that soars.
Thanks, Ketsia. According to Time for Kids magazine, the International Health Organization says that 285 billion people in the world are blind or visually impaired. Luckily, Orbis is here to help. Orbis Flying Eye Hospital travels to places where many people do not have access to medical care they need. Top doctors perform eye surgery on the plane to help patients around the world. The reason why they do it is because Orbis wants everybody to see all the beautiful things that the world has to offer. The owner of Orbis, Dr. H.J. Withnicki, says that it's important to treat patients as early as possible because it is easier to cure diseases in their eyes when they are young, but it's a lot harder to treat their eyes when they are older. Orbis also has a classroom for young eye doctor students to learn how to treat eye care and later perform surgeries. Orbis's plane, also called Orbis, is committed to make sure that everybody around the globe has 20/20 vision. Back to you in the studio.
The Orbs Hospital must help a lot of people.
I'm sure they do. Hey, do you hear something?
Is it raining out? Let's go to Ketsia with the Great Flood of 1993.
Thanks, Lindsay. The Great Flood of 1993 happened May through September. The flooding happened across North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Illinois. 50 deaths happened and the damages came up to $15 billion. This flood was very overwhelming and it ranks as one of the greatest natural disasters ever to hit the United States. Tens of thousands of people were evacuated from their houses and some never returned. About 10,000 homes were totally destroyed. The rainfall started in June and July in the upper Midwest. The rain, combined with wet soil conditions, was the cause of flooding in the upper Midwest. That resulted in flooding on rivers in Minnesota and Wisconsin and eventually pushed in the Mississippi River to rest in St. Louis on July 12. In early July, Iowa was hit with several rainfalls. In mid to late July, heavy rains began further west in North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. This certainly ranks as one of the worst natural disasters to ever hit the United States. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, that was a huge flood. I'm glad I wasn't there.
Me too. It must take a long time to build those houses back.
Like Legos.
Now Maddie with a report on Legoland.
Thank you, Ketsia. Have you ever gotten bored or wanted a little adventure? Well, then come check out the Boston Legoland Discovery Center. According to BostonLegolandDiscoveryCenter.com, one of Legoland's attractions is Miniland, a land of Legos made out of more than 1.5 million Lego bricks. Another attraction at Legoland is Merlin's Apprentice Ride, where you pedal faster and faster to go up and down the circle. At the 4D Cinema, you can experience rain, fog, wind, and much more. In the Kingdom Quest, use that beast to save the princess and see her score. Maybe you will beat your friends. In the Master Builder Academy, you can build anything you want or have a building contest with your friends or even your parents. Try to make a tower that can withstand a shaking or earthquake table to see if yours will stay standing. If you get hungry, come eat at the colorful, delicious Lego Cafe. Before you leave, check out the gift shop for fun, cool souvenirs to remember your trip to Legoland Boston. Hope you find this information important and check it out. Back to you in the studio.
I really want to try the Kingdom Quest. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Same. I really want to go to Legoland.
Woof!
Did I just hear dog or... let's go to Nate to learn about dogs.
Thanks, Lindsay. Dogs are very interesting. If you don't have one and you'd like to get one, here's some information and advice to help you get started. Did you know dog owners have a longer lifespan? That's right. Get a dog and you can live longer. Did you know dogs are man's best friend? If you're a man, you need a dog. And women can get dogs too. Dogs are very loyal. You can teach them tricks. Do you like big dogs, small dogs? There are more than 150 dog breeds to choose from, like Golden Retriever, Chihuahua, Shih Tzu, etc. Fun fact, adult dogs have 42 teeth. That's a lot of brushing. A dog's sense of smell is 1 million times stronger than human. Some dogs are trained to be used by police or military to sniff out harmful substances or to help find people who are lost. Dogs are pretty intelligent. Dogs can hold several different types of jobs and are used to help make human lives more positive. Back to you in the studio.
Now I want to get a dog and live longer.
Too bad I can't have a dog. My dad's allergic. Good thing it doesn't spread, especially in schools.
I heard of a great school named Matthew Thornton. Let's go to Lindsay and she will tell you more about it.
Thank you, Ketsia.
Matthew Thornton School has been a busy place. If you have followed social media lately, you know there's been a lot going on. At the end of January, 5th graders did a BKE Day. BKE stands for Be Kind to Everyone. They did a number of different activities relating to being kind. One of them was a maze where everyone worked together to finish it. High school students came down to help and have fun with them. It was great to see the school community come together for such a wonderful event. Thank you, high school students. The Tiger Group from Plymouth State University came down and did a presentation about bullying. At the end, each student filled a sheet of what they thought about BKE. Thank you to everyone for participating. Need help teaching? Well, iReady is teaching kids. At Matthew Thornton School, kids are using iReady to learn math and reading. Each kid is required 45 minutes a week per topic. iReady will keep giving kids lessons based on their individual needs. It will never run out. At the beginning, middle, and end of the year, each kid will go to see how they improved or how they did improve. Thank you, iReady, for teaching kids. Lots of fundraisers have been happening at MT. The Make-A-Wish fundraiser was a huge success. Students donated money to kids that are really sick. Our school raised over $1,000 for them. Thanks to everyone for participating. Back to you in the studio.
Well, Matthew Thornton sounds like a fun and busy place.
Of course it is. We go there.
Do we have anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you for watching WNMT.
Hello and welcome to WRUM. My name is Sophia Tringali.
And I'm Colby Slater. Oh, hang on. I got a text.
What does it say?
It says that I'm really dumb.
Oh, that's not kind, which reminds me, we can talk to Logan about that.
At Matthew Thornton School, the focus was kindness. An entire day was planned called BKE Day. It stands for Be Kind to Everyone. It was an important day for Matthew Thornton. It was a day about being kind to one another. The activities and games were for teaching students how to work together and solve problems using teamwork. Most of the other games and activities required teamwork, strategy, and memory. They all revolved around cooperation and kindness. There was a place where you could interview someone or someone else could interview you. This provided students the opportunity to get to know someone new and make some new friends. There was a paper that allowed students to make up their own dream school. And students could choose what it was like and what the teachers and students were like. High school students came to help with all the activities and games. And the Tiger Up group from Plymouth State University came to our school and did a play about bullying. It was a great day for Matthew Thornton. Back to you in the studio.
That makes me feel better.
Hey, who turned out the lights?
I think Alexa did. Charlie, can you fix that?
Don't worry, Colby. The popular online retailer Amazon.com recently released a new Amazon Echo Dot. The Echo Dot is like a virtual assistant that listens to your every command. This device goes by the name Alexa. To make it work, just say, Alexa, then tell it your command. With Alexa, you can control smart devices that connect the temperature and lights. Alexa can also help you order products, play your favorite songs, and even give you the weather. Alexa is useful for texting. You can even search the web for any information you desire. You can basically control your entire house with your voice. The Amazon Echo Dot is small and puck-shaped. You just connect it and control almost everything. You can buy the Amazon Echo Dot at just $50. It comes with its own speakers, but you can also connect the Echo Dot to a bigger speaker for even louder volume. Echo Dot is one of several devices that has been created for customers looking for a virtual home experience. Thank you, and that's all from me. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for teaching us how to turn the lights on.
Yeah, I bet everyone will be asking Santa for one this Christmas.
Do you want to play some music?
Do you like 21 Pilots?
I've never heard of that band before.
You've never heard of that band before? Let's ask Gwen.
Thanks, Sophia. 21 Pilots was a very popular band in 2016. The band got its start in 2009 as a college band. Eventually, lead singer Tyler Joseph and drummer Josh Dunn turned the band into a duo. Their first album came out in 2011 and was named Regional at Best. Later in 2011, they were signed by a company named Fueled by Ramen, which had a much larger impact on the band. In 2015, they released their hit song Stressed Out, which reached #2 on Billboard's Hot 100. The band is known for its onstage antics. The drummer Josh Dunn often does backflips off pianos, and the two always go crowd surfing. The look of the bandmates has changed over the years. The drummer Josh Dunn has dyed his hair multiple colors, including green, purple, red, pink, orange, blue, and now bright yellow. And in the video Car Radio, Tyler was shown shaving his head. The creativity doesn't end there. Tyler has created a fictional character named Blurryface who represents his insecurities. Tyler paints his neck and hands black to represent his insecurities about his voice and how he's afraid of what he creates. The band is very popular because of how people can relate to their songs and how they're worded. Let's see if their success continues in 2017. Back to you in the studio.
You should really start listening to their music more.
Do you like the NFL playoffs?
What are the NFL playoffs?
Really? Nathan, tell her what the NFL playoffs are.
Thanks, Colby. The most exciting time of the year is upon us, the NFL playoffs. In the NFC wildcard round, the Green Bay Packers defeated the New York Giants 38-13. Devontae Adams caught 8 passes for 125 yards and 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers threw 25 completions for 362 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Seattle Seahawks won 26-6 to the Detroit Lions, and Russell Wilson threw for 224 yards, 23 completions, and 2 touchdowns. In the NFC divisional round, the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 34-31. Ty Montgomery rushed for 47 yards and received for 34. The Atlanta Falcons also knocked out the Seahawks at a score of 36-20. In the AFC wildcard round, the Pittsburgh Steelers dominated the Miami Dolphins 30-12, and Le'Veon Bell rushed for 167 yards. The Houston Texans beat the Oakland Raiders 27-14, and without the Raiders' star quarterback Derek Carr, they didn't have enough energy to beat the Texans. And Brock Osweiler for Houston threw for 168 yards. In the AFC divisional round, the New England Patriots knocked out the Texans 34-16, and Chris Hogan caught 9 passes for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Steelers narrowly defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 18-16, and the Steelers got 6 field goals for 3 points each. In the NFC Championship round, the Atlanta Falcons beat the Green Bay Packers 44-21. Julio Jones got a 73-yard touchdown even though he missed practice because of an injury. In the AFC Championship round, the New England Patriots beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-17, and Julian Edelman caught 8 passes for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. In the Super Bowl, the Patriots came back from a 28-3 deficit to win their 5th Super Bowl title under the leadership of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. It was the first overtime win in Super Bowl history. The Pats tied the game with about a minute to go, and James White scored from 2 yards out to clinch the win 34-28. It was the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. Back to you in the studio.
The playoffs were really close.
Maybe I'll start watching the playoffs next year.
Oh no, I think you're polluted. I'll ask Danny how to get rid of it.
Thanks, Colby. The world's air is being polluted. It is being polluted by a litter of smoke and factory waste, but everyone wants clean air, and I know that for a fact. So all I want is very good air. So now we should not litter, and we would try to keep the earth clean, seriously, very clean. Pollution comes from land, water, and air. Did you know over 2 million people have died from the effects of pollution? Pollution can come from landfills. The worst kind of air pollution is smog, and that dumping chemicals into the ocean can harm sea creatures. Back to you in the studio.
Hey, I think my coffee's gone.
Have you met Mrs. Winter?
Yeah, I've met her. I don't know a lot about her, though. Let's ask Maggie about her.
Thank you, Sophia. Hey, I'm Maggie Schofield, and today I'm here with Mrs. Winter. What is your job here at Matthew Thornton School?
I'm a special education teacher here at Matthew Thornton, and I teach small groups of reading.
How long have you been a teacher here?
I've been a teacher here for 17 years. Before that, I stayed at home to raise my children. Before I had children, I was a teacher for 5 years before that.
Who or what inspired you to be a teacher?
I think my mother inspired me to be a teacher because she was always a teacher, and she would bring work home, and my sister and I would watch her correct work and create all kinds of different materials for her students, and it was very, very interesting, and she loved teaching, so it inspired me to be a teacher.
What age did you decide you wanted to be a teacher?
Probably not till later on in my life, because I went to college and I didn't go to college for teaching. I ended up going to college to be a social worker. And when I graduated from college and tried to find a job as a social worker, there were no jobs for social workers. So I found a job at the Easter Seal School as a teaching assistant and fell in love with teaching. And then realized how much my mom had loved it as well and decided to go back to school and get certified as a special education teacher.
Did you always want to be a teacher?
I think on some level I did. I think as a kid I always played teacher. I always kind of wanted to be the boss and the controller and all those kinds of things. So I think I always wanted to be a teacher, and I'm very happy that I am.
What do you like to do out of teaching?
I love to spend time with my family. I have grown children, so that doesn't happen as much as I'd like it to. And I have 3 granddaughters, and I love to spend time with them. I like to read. I like to go to the movies, out to dinner.
Thank you, Mrs. Winter, for your time. Back to you at the studio.
I didn't know Mrs. Winter worked at Matthew Thornton for over 20 years.
Yeah, I bet the technology has changed over all the years. Do you know the best ones?
I'll tell you. Inventions are really interesting most of the time, and a lot of people have been hard at work making inventions throughout 2016. Inventions can be unbelievable, like a bendable phone or a bracelet that shines a phone onto your arm. Inventions can improve current products, like wheels that hover under your car so you can move more swiftly side to side or diagonally. Inventions can make your life easier, like the hoverboard that can move around and get places easily. Inventions could be futuristic, like the virtual reality that make it possible to see things like the real life. My pick for the coolest invention of 2016 is the bracelet phone. This phone can function different from other phones because it is packed into a bracelet that you wear. The co-founder, Guillaume Palmier, is one of the people who invented the bracelet phone, also known as a secret bracelet. Bracelet phones cost around $400 and can be found on popular websites like Amazon.com. Back to you in the studio.
Whoa, those inventions are amazing.
Yeah, my favorite is the bracelet phone.
But my favorite is the hoverboard.
Can you tell us about it then?
Sure. Thanks, Colby. Hoverboards are a cool new toy from 2015. But did you know that they can be dangerous? Hoverboards are making a comeback. Hoverboards first came out on 2015 of October 21st. Hoverboards have a cost range of $199.99 to $499.99, which means they can get pretty costly. When they first came out, they were very popular. But did you know that they could be dangerous? When people bought them, they did explode. Most hoverboards explode because people charge them too much or because they overheat. Hoverboards have a range of 20 hours at the top speed of 12 miles per hour, 20 kilometers. They can be very dangerous if they explode. People have lost their houses, gotten seriously injured, and even died. Some ways to avoid those situations are always wearing a helmet and knee pads, and don't charge your hoverboard for more than 10 hours. Don't be worried about getting a hoverboard. Scientists are working on improving hoverboard technology so it won't explode, and hoverboards are a great toy if you use it correctly and safely. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, I never knew hoverboards could blow up.
Well, I have a hoverboard and I've been safe with it, and it hasn't blown up yet.
Well, that is all for today.
Thanks for watching and see you next time on
WRUM.